Tolva Tuesday, back again. NFL playoffs are back. Garrett's also here. Theo's here. Football analyst Bryce Martino is here. Iestyn Harris is here.
Evening.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Wild card weekend. We've played 18 games. 3 of us have teams still in it. 2 of us don't. One of us kind of does because he just associates with other teams. And let's just get right into it. Probably the worst game of the weekend. There's a reason why it's the first game of the weekend. Bucks, Eagles. How much is Jalen Hurts going to pull the upset by, and why?
I do think it's possible because this is a Buccaneers team that sputtered a little bit at the end of the season. And whenever I see a team doing that, I think they need to lose. They need to lose a game in the regular season, kind of like the Packers just did, losing to the Lions. They needed to lose before they entered the postseason. And the Buccaneers did not do that. I think they struggle a little bit in the first round, as we saw last year against the Washington football team. And I think it's going to take pass rush to beat Tom Brady. It's pretty simple. You got to pressure him every time that he's been beat because he has hands in his face all game long. And if those Eagles pass rushers can get in the backfield and Jalen Hurts can protect the football, then I think the Eagles actually have a shot.
Yeah, they definitely don't deserve to be favorites, but they've absolutely got a reasonable chance if they can do the right things.
Yeah, they have the number 1 rush offense in the NFL, but the Bucks have Vita Vea, so rubber's going to meet the road.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go. Is I would love to see the Bucks get upset by the Eagles, who they haven't beat a playoff team all season. If you look at their schedule, there's not a single team in the playoffs that they've beaten. And I would love to see them walk in and pull off this upset. But they won by running the ball. And the one thing you really can't do against Tampa Bay is run the football. Like running, it's they're just not made to beat Tampa Bay. I'd love to see it. I just don't think this is where we're going to find our upset. I got Bucks by at least 20 in this one.
And the way we saw them lose to the Cowboys in Week 18, 51-26, and that score isn't showing how bad the Cowboys beat up on them. It just it doesn't inspire much confidence that they can win a road playoff game.
The way the Eagles handled that game too, I didn't like at all. Like they started Jason Kelce and Devontae Smith, and they got them their stats. Like they got Smith the rookie record, and they got Kelce his game started. Like that's something you do if you're in the number 1 seed. Like they were still fighting for seeding, and they just went for stats and then benched their guys. After Sirianni was wearing the whole beat Dallas sweatshirt all year, to just punt on that game, I just didn't like it. I don't think they have momentum going into the playoffs.
It's not classy.
Yeah, it kind of feels like when Harbaugh went and gave the Ravens that 100-yard rushing streak, let it continue, when it was completely unnecessary and he should have taken the knee. It's like, are the statistics really that important in this scenario?
It's just a lack of professionalism.
I could see running up records, if the Packers wanted to do it or something, the number 1 seed, but the Eagles actually did have stuff to play for and all. They're a 9-7 team, and all they cared about was those records. So they just don't seem serious about winning to me after that.
I actually lied. This is the first game on Sunday, not even the first game of the playoffs.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I am excited to talk about the first game of the playoffs.
Raiders Bengals, that's a banger. You got the coach of the year, Rich Bisaccia. You got the Cincinnati Bengals, who are just firing on all cylinders. Discuss.
Give me the Bengals by 50. I cannot wait to see this. The thing is, we usually worry about an inconsistent Bengals defense, but the one consistency that they've had is they play smart football. It's just when they're not firing on physical cylinders and they look slow and sloppy and not very technical, that's when they lose games on defense. But they've always been a smart defense. They always plug their gaps, and they have a lot of talent there. Mike Hilton, and you got Trey Hendrickson, who had a fantastic season. Logan Wilson's been great at linebacker, and obviously Jesse Bates and Von Bell. I just think that this is an overwhelming defense and an even more overwhelming offense. The Raiders don't stand a chance from personnel to coach in the front office.
Raiders offense has been super inconsistent this season too, so I don't think it matches up very well with that defense at all.
I like the Bengals making it out of the AFC, like, completely. Like, they're my favorite team in the AFC. They're just firing right now. They're playing their best football right now. I don't see how anyone can beat them. And
Joe
I think
Burrow's
anyone's
been
going to.
incredible.
Yeah, exactly. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, that defense. Really, their only knock was poor coaching, and they've been better coached every game this season. It's getting better and better and better, and they look like just a well-oiled machine. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know of a single team that can beat them. Yeah,
Raiders don't have the defense to match up with all their wide receivers, Joe Mixon, anybody on that team at all.
They don't have enough pass rush to knock Burrow off the block either. I mean, they have Yannick Ngakoue and Max Crosby, who have been great, but they lack an edge pressure, and it's easy to double team Ngakoue and Crosby and handle the interior.
I would say that, this Raiders team they deserve a lot of credit for what they've pulled off this season.
Absolutely.
And it has been incredible, but it does end here. They really don't. There's only one team in this first round I see getting blown out as badly as the Raiders are. And, they don't really stand much of a chance here against the Bengals.
I think the Raiders' pass rush could have a bigger impact than that, though. Like the Bengals gave up 51 sacks this year, the most in the league. And that's why I'm a little worried about them, because their biggest strength is throwing the football down the field, but their biggest weakness is also just protecting long enough to throw the ball down the field. And that's where I think they get into trouble.
Well, they're playing a backup right tackle right now. Jonah Williams has had a great season. So I think the Jonah Williams-Max Crosby matchup is going to be a good one where I'd even feel confident leaving Williams on an island. But Riley Reif is on IR, and obviously they lack talent on the interior. They have Quentin Spain at left guard, who's been playing well. But other than that, from center to right tackle, they've been poor. And I think if someone on that defense is to make the game close, it's going to be Yannick Ngakoue on the right side.
I mean, he's proven he's got a lot of chops, and he's been kind of quiet as of late. But he was a household name when he was playing for the Jaguars. I mean, you can't really knock a guy like that.
Yeah, and
Jaguars, and you know it.
If the game does get close,
on the season.
The Raiders are 7-2 in one possession games this year. I think that they're 6-0 in games that have ended on the last play or have gone to overtime. So, they're not a very good team if you look at any of the metrics. But I would say the Raiders' strength this year has been pulling close games out of their ass. So maybe they can.
I just don't think that this is going to be a one-score game.
It's unlikely.
85% of the game, it's going to be a two-score game at least. This
Bengals
is a Bengals offense that will hang 30 on you in a corner. They can run it, they can pass it, and they've been out blocking in the run. I will give that to the offensive line. All of them are athletic, and they can get out in front for blocking. It's just this Bengals offense can beat you every which way, and there are glaring weaknesses in the secondary for the Raiders. So,
it's going to be air raid right off the bat, and they're going to be.
And Raiders don't have the secondary to stop that air raid either.
No. Mm-hmm. And by the time if you put Derek Carr in desperation mode against the Bengals secondary secondary needs some work, sure, but Derek Carr is not that guy right now. I think he deserves lots of credit. Once again, the Raiders deserve credit, but just not enough to get them over this hump.
Yeah, the Raiders haven't established the run all year. Bengals have a top 5 rush unit. I see this. I think the Bengals will dominate time of possession. Raiders won't get off the field on third down.
Let's go back to Sunday. The Nickelodeon game. Now, it stinks that this is the one Jim Nantz and Tony Romo are calling, because I'm going to watch it on Nickelodeon, and I really enjoy Tony Romo. 49ers, Dallas Cowboys. This one I feel like everyone thinks is a trap game for Dallas, weirdly enough, in the playoffs, but I don't know. I don't see the 49ers.
This is not a trap game because they have been humbled recently by the Cardinals in AT&T Stadium. And this is another offense that can quickly overwhelm that Raiders or that 49ers defense. They have a great front seven. Azeez Al-Shaair and Fred Warner at linebacker have been particularly good. Arden Key, Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa leading the charge. But my problem comes with the secondary. They don't have any elite covermen. And CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup and Cedric Wilson, or not Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson, they're going to be overwhelming right off the bat for an inexperienced secondary. And
Who's starting Josh Norman too?
yeah, like I just think this is a game where even if the Dallas defense doesn't show up, which I don't expect, I expect their defense to be stellar. They can outscore this team.
Yeah, Dallas is weird because I don't think anyone expected them coming into the season to be led by that defense. But Parsons is easily the defensive player.
He is ridiculous.
Of the year. I mean, that defense won a lot of people fantasy championships, including myself. And but I like this San Fran team. I mean, they're coming off a great win that kept the Saints out of the playoffs. We're not going to talk about that. And I think they're going to give Dallas a fight. I think it's going to be close enough that Deebo Samuel gets that coveted MVP award. But I do think Dallas gets by. I think their roster is too talented. They've been humbled recently, like Andrew said, and they're playing great football. So, but Deebo Samuel MVP, just book it with Garrett right now. I'm just going to point it out now.
Book it with your boy Garrett.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm excited to see how they use Parsons. So, like, will they use him as a pass rusher? Will they try to use him against Kittle? There's a lot of things they could do. Yeah.
Honestly, I would rush him. Trent Williams didn't play last week, so even if he plays, he's behind a week. That is an offensive line that cannot handle like a 5-man rush of Randy Gregory, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Osa Odigizua is your 4 best pass rushers. And you can leave Leighton Vander Esch as a 1-man in the middle. Like that's a 4-man rush that will get things done. That's another. I think this is going to be tough sledding for the Niners.
I don't think it'll be a close game, but if it does end up being close, it's going to be Niners offense and Deebo Samuel, Elijah Mitchell, all them guys. I don't think the defense will do them any favors at all.
Yeah, they'll have to be real crafty to get those yards, though, because Dallas has been surprisingly stingy this season, and
they showed last week that they're going to be very stingy.
Jimmy G doesn't have the arm, though. Jimmy G doesn't have the arm to burn Diggs deep.
No, but also I think Diggs he struggles with coverage technique a lot, and guys like Juwan Jennings, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel, if you watch their tape from like the last 2-3 weeks, their route running is crisp, and they've been working a lot on the technical things. And that is something that Trayvon Diggs struggles with. They don't put him in press much because he gets burnt. So he's playing off man on really good route runners who are good after the catch. It's not a great recipe.
The Niners skill position group is awesome. They're just so versatile. Like Kittle, Juszczyk, Samuel,
Ayuk.
They can do so much. Ayuk, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad he's finally getting a little bit of respect because he was he had a tough go when he came out, but he stepped it up this season.
I'm not ready to buy in on the Niners this year, but like next year with Trey Lance, I'll be all in on this team. And
I think they still need a little work, especially in their secondary. Maybe offensive line.
Secondary, yeah. But also, if Trey Lance starts to play even like a good enough facilitator, like if he plays how Mac Jones played, which they're different styles, but if he can get the ball to the playmakers, like this is going to be a 3rd-year version of Ayuk, a 4th-year version of Deebo Samuel, the veteran Kittle. Juwan Jennings is going to be in his 2nd season. Eli Mitchell's going to be in his 2nd season. You're getting a lot more experience through playing in the playoffs. And then next year, Trey Lance even grazes his potential. That's going to be a stellar offense.
I think it all depends on how Trent Williams ages. I think if we get more elite Trent Williams, then they can easily win the NFC West. But if he falls off a cliff, I mean, he's getting up there in age. He's suffering from some injuries right now. I mean, it could really throw a wrench in all their plans because giving Lance that franchise left tackle could be the difference in this guy being an MVP type player or just another guy that comes and goes and you wasted a couple firsts on. Like they need that line solidified, and it starts with him. So the success of this team is going to be based on Trent Williams next year. I mean, and how healthy he is.
That's a Hall of Fame left tackle.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Arguably behind Aaron Donald, the best player in the league, I would say Trent Williams deserves to be in that conversation. He is stellar. And it goes unnoticed because of his position. But, I mean, he's winning them games just by not letting anyone through on that side.
Yeah, I mean, he used to just be called elite in Washington, which was low-key disrespectful. Like, he's such a talented player.
I think he has an almost perfect run blocking grade this year on PFF.
Yeah.
Like he's at like 99 or something like that.
Do we really have to talk about Chiefs Steelers? It's going to be so bad.
Yeah, no, that's going to be
We already
awful.
saw that.
Steelers are blowing them out.
The Chiefs can do it upside down on one arm with one eye closed in their sleep.
Like, I don't want to see Ben's final game in the cold, down 3 touchdowns, throwing 2 interceptions. I don't want to see it.
See, the Steelers have literally one hope, and it's TJ Watt blowing up off the edge for like 6 sacks. And I'm not going to say it's impossible because he's been unbelievable this year. But I mean, it's probably the least likely victory of the weekend by quite some distance.
Yeah.
Chiefs taking this one on a landslide unless TJ Watt, is the second or third coming of Christ.
I mean, that was the Chiefs' Achilles heel last season. I mean, that's why they lost the Super Bowl. I mean, they addressed it in a big way all offseason when the lines put a lot better, but who knows? Maybe we see a repeat.
It's the Steelers' offense.
Getting flashbacks.
Yeah, it is the Steelers' offense.
Can't do anything.
The Steelers' offense has exceeded 350 total yards in regulation once this year. They have the worst run defense in the league. Like, they're just not any good. I don't know how their season is even still alive.
Yeah, how they're in the
really
playoffs
wish.
is honestly a mystery.
Oh, it's because they couldn't
Staley
beat the
timeout.
Lions. That's literally the only reason.
If
they
Brandon
beat the
Staley
Lions, then
didn't
they're
use
in.
that timeout, we wouldn't have to see this.
Yeah,
We would
you might be right.
playoffs.
Everyone wanted that tie.
TJ Watt's good enough to win them games against the shitty teams, but against the Chiefs, that's not happening.
Would the Bengals have played the Chargers in the first round had that game ended in a tie?
Yes.
See, now, I mean,
And the Bills
That's
would have
the
played
playoff
the
match,
Raiders,
yeah.
I believe, which would have put the
that's
Pats.
what we want to see. We want to see Burrow and Herbert in the first round of the playoffs, but instead we get Big Ben versus Patrick Mahomes and then Derek Carr versus Joe Burrow.
It is kind of wild to me that 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league that are going to be incredible for a long time, Hall of Fame potential, came from the same draft, and Tua was ranked over Herbert.
Yeah.
In my personal rankings, he was not. Justin Herbert, since high school, has had this ability to zip balls into the tightest windows. And he's grown as a mental player every year. He's incredible. I can't wait to see that Chargers team next season. Hopefully the defense gets some help. But
And hopefully their coaching
it sucks
improves.
really bad that we have to watch the Chiefs win by 50 and maybe risk injuring potential players. That's how bad I think this game is.
Yeah, I mean, this just shows like they added a 7th playoff seed, and it gave us like the Eagles and the Steelers, which like I don't feel like either of
That's
those teams
depressing.
is a good playoff team.
No,
I mean, last year though, didn't he give us who?
We had the
Who's
Saints
second?
Bears on the NFC, which
Oh,
good
never
lord.
mind. Yeah, that was-
Gave
that
us
was-
Trubisky winning MVP though. So
Yeah, exactly. That was the one good thing it gave us. But
Yeah. Who came out of the AFC in the extra seed last year? It wasn't. I know Miami narrowly missed it.
They played the
You really
Titans in the first round. I want to say it was like
No, the Titans won the South.
Oh, it was the Colts. They traveled to the Bills.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was actually a good
that's right,
game.
yes.
Yeah,
That was a good game.
it was a
that
great
was
game.
good.
So that's the lone positive so far from this extra seed.
The Colts would have been there again if they could have beaten the Jaguars. But I mean, I'm not even going to remind Colts
That's not-
fans about that because if I was a Colts fan, like I would not
believe
have
that.
to show my face.
I
Like
cannot
I'm
believe
just genuinely disgusted. Like you have an
I
MVP
watched
candidate
that
at
game.
running back,
the
offensive line, defense was
Jaguars
playing great.
looked really
Yeah.
good. Trevor Lawrence looked like he was on.
Carson Wentz will just never play in a playoff game. It'll never happen.
The Jaguars just own the Colts. Like look at all
They're
the
what,
games
6-0
they played.
now?
They just own the Colts. Like it's so depressing to be a Colts fan and watch that. Like
Yeah,
That's
like
just
kind of funny, though.
consistently one of the worst teams in the league.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like I don't understand. I
No,
just don't
but-
get it.
Believe me, I a good friend of mine is a Colts fan. I've had to be on suicide watch for 3 days now. I'm like, come on, man! Like I
Serious
got
condolences.
like other stuff I need to do. I
Get
can't
out
keep
of
checking
bed.
up on you.
And you wake up and like you have no first round pick. You're stuck to Carson Wentz. Like what are you attaching your hope to? Like you just wasted a prime season of a running back, which we know that their careers can be short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really did. This season was pointless for them, and it all came down to them being dominated by Jacksonville
at the very end.
Yeah,
when
last game
it was win and you're in,
mm-hmm.
and they didn't just lose; they got killed.
Yeah, I mean the final score might not reflect just how one-sided that game was. I mean, the Colts.
And
really
it was
did.
Trevor Lawrence's best game too.
Yeah, well, he actually looked
by
really
far,
good.
He looked great. I watched that whole game.
Like 270 yards and 2 TDs.
Yeah, like the box
score
was pretty good. It was pretty good on the box score, but from snap to snap, the man was alive, and it was crazy. Maybe he finally found hope.
Let's give him a receiver better than Laquan Treadwell next year, and then we can really get cooking.
He didn't have DJ Chark. He didn't have James Robinson. He had a beat-up O-line and an interim head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And he played a great game against a tough defense. They're talented.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They really are.
No excuses, though, for the Colts.
And they get the number one overall pick on top of that. They get to beat a division rival, keep them out of the playoffs. They're just like, all right, we'll take that number one pick now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of good things happening in Jacksonville this week. And I think they deserve it because that poor franchise is just miserable.
Yeah, they're going to mess it up.
Bortles almost let them do
it. Do you go pass rush here or Evan Neal?
I go Thibodeau.
The Jags?
Yeah, Jaguars with the top pick.
I would take Evan Neal. They're going to take Thibodeau.
If they could trade down and like get 3 or 4 picks and build on both sides of the line, I think that's their best move.
Yeah, I think one team that I could really see doing that is the Broncos from 11 or the Vikings to get someone like Thibodeau or Hutchinson. Like Kayvon.
I'm not sure you do
Broncos
that if you're Denver, though. You need
incredible. I mean, they're going to have a new head coach, and from preliminary interviews, it looks like they're looking at defense a little bit. I mean, they're a really good defense too, and they truly are a quarterback away. So if there's not a quarterback that they want, maybe sign a guy in free agency.
There's not a quarterback in this draft anyway.
There's 2. And you will all learn that because now 18 teams of your fan bases are out of the playoffs. And so we're going to start draft content.
Mm-hmm.
So stay active on the website. Yeah, I'm so excited to start the draft season.
Can I start with the Sam Howell bandwagon right now? Anyone wants to hop on?
I don't know why you'd be on that, but sure.
Okay, well, I'm just going to start it now.
Before the season.
And JT Daniels, someone's going to draft that dude in like the 6th round, and I'm just telling you. Let's start 2 bandwagons right now.
That's going to be a terrible pick.
He said it now. He called it.
I'm sticking with it.
How about this Monday game? Because I'm pretty excited to see the Cardinals destroy the Rams at home. This is an inconsistent Cardinals team who peaked too early, and they've been on a skid as of late. They likely won't have DeAndre Hopkins. They likely won't have J.J. Watt. Chandler Jones has been the best player on their defense. And Kyler Murray's been he's been at a stalemate for the last couple of weeks. And that is why I think they're going to destroy the Rams. Because you take one bad team like the Cardinals, with poor coaching, by the way, Steven. And then you look at the Rams, who they have been incredibly weak these last 3 games. They have been beating practice squads. The Ravens backups, they completely blew a 17-point lead to the 49ers. And some might say I'm a salty Saints fan, and maybe that's true, but also Cardinals by 30. It's on the books.
Amen. I second that for no reason of me liking the Saints either.
No Saints fans here.
I would say that I think that the Rams do deserve to be the favorites in this, but it should be narrow. I think that they're one of the more complete teams in the playoff picture right now on paper. But they did. If they could string it all together for 4 quarters, then we'd probably be looking at a Super Bowl run.
Stafford.
It's exciting. They have
very
Cooper
cold
Kupp
streak
breaking records, and Cam Akers is back, and Tyler Higbee's been consistent in the red zone. Van Jefferson's coming on. Like, this is a fun team, And on paper, they're great. They have Von Miller and Jalen Ramsey. But one of the most notable losses of Week 18 was, I believe it was a serious injury to Rams safety Jordan Fuller. When he left the game, that defense was completely different. He's a really sound tackler, can play in the box, single high.
He's out for the season.
Cover man. He's got good ball skills. He'll rush the passer. I mean, he's a do-it-all safety. And when he left, that whole defense changed, and the secondary was a clear hole. Even though they have guys like Darius Williams and Jalen Ramsey out there, I just think this is a sputtering team, and they are still sputtering at the wrong time.
It's great, and they're playing an air raid offense in Arizona. It's not really much of an air raid offense, so it's almost like Cliff Kingsbury. All he has to do is just do what he's known for, and they should win the game. But then again, coaching, there's a little question.
Cliff Kingsbury.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, sure, they're going to run the ball 50 times now that Jordan Fuller's out. When Kyler Murray needs to realistically throw this ball 50 times or use his little legs and run around 50 times. We need to see something. We need to see some air.
You're not going to get a run game going either.
Yeah,
they will not get. And James Conner's still hurt.
Yeah, I don't want, and that leaves Chase Edmonds, who's a great receiving back. All the more reason to just air this ball out, pick on a weak secondary that was just picked apart by Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, if they go away from that, can we just fire Kingsbury? Like, if we see anything other than that, can we get this guy?
I'm hoping for a breakout game from Rondale too.
Yeah, I
think Rondale Moore has to have a good game. I think AJ Green, obviously, Zach Ertz is going to be a big part. But I've been watching Antoine Wesley pretty closely these last couple weeks. He's been a good jump ball threat. And, he's not super versatile. He's not extremely athletic, but he does one thing really, really well. And that is jump over little men and catch the ball over them. He's something like 6'5". So they used their bigger receivers. That proved to be a problem last week against the Niners. I expect a big Zach Ertz game. He's been Kyler's safety blanket, and if someone's not open down the field, he's happy to dink it to Ertz.
He's probably their best receiver still available.
Yeah. I think Rondale Moore really is that talented, and they just are not using him enough. But that's
is Christian Kirk healthy?
Yeah,
I believe so. But I'm not the biggest Christian Kirk fan.
Yeah, he's okay.
Hasn't really been producing a lot.
I mean, solid depth on most NFL rosters, but
he's just not a starter. He's a slot deep threat.
I want to see Jalen Ramsey versus AJ Green. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, honestly, because
that was a classic brawl.
Oh man, punch in the helmet. I hope he shadows AJ Green, so then that opens up opportunities for guys like Rondale Moore and Kirk and Wesley. But realistically, I mean, if you have Jalen Ramsey on AJ Green all game, you're just kind of asking to lose. AJ Green's atrocious, and we just got to quit acting like he's not.
Putrid.
Rancid.
I'd like to buy into the Rams, but Matt Stafford's the exact same quarterback he was in Detroit.
That is one of the biggest surprises, because the way they came out this season, out the gate, we were all like, oh my God, they're exactly what we thought they were. Mm-hmm. And then teams just started giving him tougher looks, and it was over. He is not good under pressure at all.
No.
He's one of the worst in the league.
Learn how to play football. I mean, it's bad. He was my MVP pick a few weeks ago, and I feel really, really embarrassed right now as I see.
Yeah, but everyone is as good as Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I mean, we can't all be Jeb.
We can't all be Jameis.
Yeah, I think we covered all 6 games, right? We did not miss one game. Yeah,
nope,
I guess
didn't miss a single one.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not the most important game of the weekend, 100%.
All right.
Wow. Yes, of course, the Canadian thinks that the game in Buffalo is the most important game.
Here you go.
Oh, so now I'm a Canadian.
Why are the Bills going to win?
Okay. So the Bills have learned a lesson that they needed to learn this season. They were taking the ball out of Josh Allen's hands in a lot of key scenarios, and they've figured that out now. They know that
they need to be a more balanced offense too.
Yeah, but sometimes in order to be a balanced offense, your quarterback has to be the one getting you the rushing yards. I think that it's an unconventional style of offense, but it's the one we might have to run in poor conditions where hucking it all over in a conventional running back might not be the answers. Put the ball in the hands of your quarterback. You think that this man is an MVP caliber talent. You've seen him play at an elite level for 2 seasons now. You can expect greatness from him, and if he fails to perform it, then that's on his back. But if you take the game
Singletary's
out of
really
his
come
hands,
along too.
yeah, exactly. He's got all the tools he needs. But if you don't believe in him to get it done, and you lose because of it, then that's a major coaching flaw.
I don't want to interrupt you guys just because like I'm not a jerk, but did you just say Devin Singletary is like an X factor or something like that?
No, we said
No,
he's
I said
improved.
he's really
great.
coming along.
He's been coming up.
He's really not though.
He was
but-
good against the
Hey.
Saints.
Hey, I just want to point this out. Throughout the fantasy playoffs, I believe the number 1 running back has been Devin Singletary.
Yeah,
Probably
they-
Rashad
week,
Penny,
90
but
in TD.
Singletary's
Actually,
up
it is
there.
Penny. It is Penny. Yeah, you're right. It is Penny, but then Singletary.
Yeah, because it's they've changed their
Rashad
running
Penny's
philosophy.
been crazy.
Yeah.
Like these
Yeah.
He
last
really
few weeks,
came along after
his stats have
getting
been
healthy
crazy.
again.
I would like to see. I mean, he's going to be a free agent. They didn't pick up his 5th year,
No,
so I'm excited to see what he
He
can
could
do
get
with
a
a good
decent amount of
offensive
money
line.
too.
Yeah,
I could absolutely see him getting a decent chunk of cash and going to a place that can actually use him the right way. But
yeah.
where that's going to be, he's going to have a
Honestly,
lot of suitors.
I'd like to see him in Atlanta. I hate that as a Saints fan, but
Yeah.
he could be the dude that Arthur Smith wants to rely on for the run game. It's a cheap option. That's a
What they
total
thought
Terry
Mike Davis was
Fontenot
gonna be.
signing. And then, presumably you get Calvin Ridley back, or we don't know because of reports. Russell Gage has looked great, and Kyle Pitts is a freaking monster. You draft one more wide receiver in the top 3 rounds and let that offense shake out. Matt Ryan can still do it. I hate saying that as a Saints fan, but Garrett, I know you can agree. He is still
Matt
a
Ryan,
highly effective quarterback.
he's a stud. Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah.
I mean, we just dominated
I
him, but
respect
I have
him
I have
a
respect
lot.
for Matt Ryan. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like.
I
to
don't know.
see
Is that
Penny
a
in
popular
Miami.
opinion outside of the NFC
I-
South?
I always thought so. I mean, Matt Ryan's been in my mind. He's been a top 10 quarterback for pretty much the past.
He's consistent,
Long
even
time.
in the worst
He's
games.
out there every
he's
week.
consistent.
He's out there every week.
He got hit 130 times this year. Like his QB hits was far beyond any other quarterback, and he still stands in tough. Like, Matt Ryan's a baller.
Yeah, and he can sling it. He's a baller. I have so much respect for him because that's the thing. Like when Drew Brees retired, Falcons fans really did appreciate the greatness, and I will always appreciate.
Can I say something really important?
Oh God.
Kodak Black went to the Florida Panthers game tonight and was in a box and had sex in said box.
What?
Are you
You're
serious?
lying.
No. Sorry. All right. Sorry,
Kodak
Bills
Black, a
fans.
man of the people.
We've talked about you way too much. They're going to rout the Pats, I hope to God. Let's talk
I would
about...
like to hear everyone just yes, no, or the Bills winning this game.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're all going to say yeah.
Oh my God.
Does that like help you or something?
Yeah, I know. I just
think
wanted
Kodak
everyone's
found
thoughts.
something All right.
record.
Let's get back on track. Final 4.
I'm going to say no,
Who
but
wins
I'm
it?
sorry, Iestyn.
These videos are crazy. Okay. Sorry.
Wait, did you just see it, Tolva?
Yeah, on Twitter.
That's funny.
Everyone's watching him.
He
Wait, is it
does
live?
not care.
Great.
We do not care.
So, like, I don't know. I feel like this is something that if I were scrolling through Instagram, I would maybe want to see, of course, with an NSFW tag.
Someone post this on the Instagram right now.
I don't know.
Okay.
We do have two of the owners
close
here,
out
and I
our-
do
our
have the
week one
login.
of the
So
playoffs here. Wild card round. Let's pick our winners real quick, and we'll call our shot for the Super Bowl.
all right.
Steven, who you got? Raiders, Bengals.
No, we're not doing every game. That'll take way too much time.
Oh, just shout out winner. Go on.
Yeah,
Good.
take the winner.
We all know the Bengals are going to win, okay?
Yeah.
Bengals.
Okay, Patriots, Bills.
Patriots.
Bills.
I'm sorry, Iestyn.
Bills.
Garrett, you're dead to me.
I already was.
I'm with the Bills here. Eagles,
Bills
Bucks.
pass defense this year. Great.
Bucks, but I think it's going to be
Bucks.
surprisingly close.
Bucks. Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
Niners, Cowboys. I'm giving it to the Cowboys.
Dallas.
Cowboys.
Dallas, yeah.
Dallas.
Steelers, Chiefs.
Stop it,
Jeez.
Andrew.
Oh.
He was waiting to say that
Cardinals,
one.
Rams.
Rams.
Give me the Cardinals by 30.
Arizona.
I'm taking the Rams.
Rams by
All
a
right,
field goal.
okay. This is taking forever.
Hey,
All right.
Super Bowls.
Those are all the games. All right.
Okay.
Super Bowl.
I don't
call your
care
shot.
about each game of this week, Andrew. One of them is on Nickelodeon. Nobody really cares about all the games this weekend. So
That makes me feel like the last hour
gonna
is
be
very
Bills,
valuable and
Chiefs.
productive.
Bills, Chiefs in the AFC. Cardinals, Packers in the NFC. Packers over the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right.
I really want to pick the Chiefs, and I feel like that's everyone's like favorite pick, but I just don't like the Packers. I totally believe in the Chiefs. It's so hard to get back like twice, let alone 3 times. And I don't know. I think like weirdly enough, watching the Bills destroy the Jets made me believe in them in the playoffs. But know that I'm partially biased because I have 3 Bills friends here. But I really want to pick the Chiefs, but Pack over Bills.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna get a little bold. Okay, Dallas is gonna go to the Super Bowl in the crowded NFC, but they're gonna lose to my boys in Cincinnati.
Jesus Christ, Garrett.
Okay.
Cincinnati
He's going all in
Bengals.
on the Bengals. I understand. I
Joe
respect it.
Burrow.
Hey, man, he's hot at exactly the right time.
Who day? Let's ride.
All right.
Let's ride Cincinnati.
Who day gonna get routed by Kansas City or Buffalo if it comes down to it? But I'm
They
sorry.
just
go
beat
on.
Kansas City.
Okay.
Cincinnati.
AFC, give me Bengals, Bills.
Okay.
NFC, give me Cowboys, Packers. In the AFC, give me the Bills. In the NFC, give me the Packers. And the Bills are going to win by 2 scores.
Okay. I just want you guys to know that I trust Tolva's insight in things quite
You
a
guys
bit.
have, like-
The man has
you guys
earned
have, like-
his respect. And
but what? I'm just some Yankee honky who said the Bills and that wasn't good enough for you.
Everyone
I
else
just-
has articles
Honky.
pending, waiting
Don't
for
lie
Iestyn
to
to
me.
get
You got a
on
little
it.
bit of a tell when I said Bills.
For the Bills.
Okay, I'm up next then. I'm calling this. I'm going to say I think it is going to be Bills Bengals out of the coming out for the AFC. I do absolutely see the Rams taking on the Packers if we can see it. But I think if they do, then that's going to be it's probably going to be divisional. I gotta say, let's call it Rams Cowboys. I think all of the top 2 seeds on both conferences don't make it to the conference finals.
All right. In your Super Bowl?
My Super Bowl is going to be. It's tough to call Bills over Bengals without sounding biased, but I do just think that the Bills have a more complete team, and that secondary will cause trouble for Burrow. It's going to be close though, so I'm going to say Bills go and they go up against the Rams. I'm booking it. I still have faith.
No,
I gotta say Bills Cowboys Super Bowl.
I'm going Bills Titans AFC. Bills win, and then Dallas Green Bay in the NFC. Green Bay wins. Aaron Rodgers caps off the FU tour with an unfortunate Super Bowl victory.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah. I can't explicitly say it's going to be Rams Bills with the Bills winning. I think the Rams, it's the two. They're the most complete roster on paper on each side and they've both shown that they have high highs from this ceiling. But it's hard to pick the Bills over the Rams right now just because of my bias. I am aware I have it. I'm trying my hardest to resist it.
No, you're not.
I'm aware of my privilege.
You just told us how
I just wanna
happy
say-
you are that we all picked the Bills over the Patriots.
Yeah, because it's confirmation bias. It makes me feel good.
I just want to say, in the preseason, I picked Rams over Bills for the Super Bowl, and it's still very possible right now. I'm just saying. So, I mean, I'm changing it now, just to be bold.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Rams over Bills really ends up happening, I'm really gonna feel like a genius. But who day?
Who day?
Yeah, who day?
Ride the wagon. Like, let's go. Joe Shiesty.
All right, Bryce, it's your favorite time of the podcast. I don't know how much time's left. I didn't set a timer, so just babble us out. I'll say Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Rest is yours, man.
Titans, I think, are being extremely overlooked in the playoffs. I think they can make it, especially if Derrick
With
Henry
King
comes
Henry.
back to
Yeah.
especially if he comes back to previous form. AJ Brown's looked really nice coming back from his injury. Julio Jones finally scored, so maybe that gives him, some momentum.
Yeah.
Have a great week, everybody. See you on Sunday night.
Jameis 2023 MVP.